Hi, hello, welcome back to another Onkruid video, welcome back to another Megabonk video. This time I don't want to talk about the last episode, we're just heading into the forest, tier 1, with this absolute banger of a soundtrack. With the character that starts with the bow, we know it, we trust it, we have some experience here, it's not a melee build, we can just go our regular old revolver, potentially fire blast, maybe something else, but we're gonna focus on crits, we're gonna focus on having a blast, and we're gonna focus on achieving a nice victory. Whoa, she jumps high. Or maybe every character starts with the same standard jump height, I don't know, but the flip makes it feel higher. A projectile count upgrade for a bow right from the start is something I will never say no to. Yeah, I'll just go for a regular old bow upgrade at this stage of the game. My buddy Wim is grinding. He just asked me if I wanted to play something together, and I put into practice what I was talking about in the episode 2 episodes ago, which I did record earlier today, but I have to preface it by saying it was 2 episodes ago. I'm not gonna stand still. Max HP is not relevant right now. I think an early game luck upgrade is something we have tested, and we know it will be working out well. And this is also nice. It doesn't increase our shrine charge speed, sadly enough, but it is nice in the sense that it creates some beacons of hope for us across the map where we can take a little bit of respite, take a little break from all the action and all the chaos. The attack speed upgrade is also nice. Yeah, I put into practice what I was saying earlier because he asked me to do something together. I told him, no, I'm on the grind right now. I already spent too much time today on games. I need to set some boundaries for myself if I want to live the life that I want to live. It's not just related to producing YouTube content and producing things in general. It's also just about being able to go to sleep with a feeling of satisfaction, a feeling of gratitude towards my day, and a feeling of having done what I set out to do. It's not purely in a results fashion important to me, that I produced enough videos, that I wrote a poem, that I typed out, I transcribed enough book notes, which I still might do after this episode, because that's something I set out to do today as well, and I haven't gotten to it yet. The continuation of the typing out of my notes on Dirk de Wachter's book about waiting, which was a great read. I might try and make a separate video on it, but I'm not gonna make any promises, because I feel like lately we have noticed that Megabonk videos are what I am doing and what I will be doing for a while, because it's feasible, it's what is possible right now. So I might continue that, but just in general, going to sleep, putting your head nice in that little dimple in your pillow, maybe turning the pillow around once or twice to get it on its cold side, you know? Get a little chill and breezy fabric feeling on your cheekbone. You want to do that with a smile on your face. And if I would play 2 more games of League right now, for example, probably lose one of them, and with the other one maybe have fun, but I would be playing attack damage carry, I would be playing ADC, I would be playing the marksman role when I'm playing together with Wim. Chances of my suicidality skyrocketing are also not 0, you know? What makes the chances of my suicidality skyrocketing close to 0 is doing what I was doing, which is recording, which is having fun, which is reading a bit later, which is maybe typing out those book notes, but it's not a problem if I don't do it. It is interesting though. I guess I can make a separate video about it, but I can also just talk about it right now, because if I want to talk about it, then why not talk about it? We have all the time in the world to make infinite Onkruid videos. I am not mortal. I am an immortal human being. I am special, one of the 2 main death anxieties posed by Jalom in his work about death anxiety. I digress. The book is all about waiting. And for you non-Dutch people out there, the author, Dirk de Wachter, front and last name, he is a Belgian psychiatrist and systemic therapist, so he works with families and couples and stuff like that. Very, very inspiring person. One of the most inspiring human beings I have ever had the joy of encountering in my life, both encountering in his books, but also encountering in classes, and encountering in one of my internships. His last name means the waiter, the waiting one. So it's quite ironic, but also quite iconic that he writes a book about the concept of his last name and the kind of philosophical implications included in waiting. Not any regular old waiting, but like an attitude of waiting, an attitude of patience, an attitude of not having to rush through life. That's really what the book's all about. It is about a stance towards life. Stance. Never quite sure how to pronounce the A in some words. I will go for some more jump height because I feel like it has proven itself to be quite worthy in getting us out of a pickle already this run. And the book is interesting. It is very interesting. One of the main philosophers he quotes from, he always quotes from in multiple of his books, is Heidegger. And, well, people that know philosophy a bit, know the history of philosophy a bit, and know about Heidegger a bit, know that that is maybe controversial for some. Ooh, the luck is stacking, and it is providing us with, that's nice, turbo shoes on this character. That's nice, because we are moving quite fast. And don't forget, we can actually heal up close to the shrine right here. And this book quoted a lot of Heidegger, but also rightfully so, because the themes that the Wachter quotes from Heidegger actually apply to the concept of waiting quite nicely. Heidegger talks about waiting without waiting for. Waiting without expecting is the real right translation. And in Dutch it sounds even nicer, because in Dutch we say wachten zonder te verwachten. Waiting, the Dutch word of waiting, is part of the Dutch word for expecting. In English it's a little bit rougher on the tongue, but sometimes we like that, you know what I'm saying? And he also talks a lot about gelassenheid, about this attitude of letting go, an attitude in life of being at ease. Laissez faire, laissez tomber. Ne pas t'inquiéter avec des grandes choses, hein, if tu sais ce que je veux dire. It's all about being chill, being lighthearted, letting things go, letting things move away from you, chilling, not working yourself into a fuss. And another philosopher, the Wachter quotes from more than regularly. It's like the philosopher he mainly quotes from. It's the philosopher that I think inspired the main body of his work, to be honest, and his main views on life, on therapy, and on philosophy. I'll go for some lifesteal. Is Levinas, Emmanuel Levinas. And I always like it when the Wachter talks about Levinas, because I feel like many of his views kind of fit nicely with how I look at life, and that was confirmed in this book again. Because Levinas talks a lot about the après vous attitude, the after you attitude, the polite after you. No, after you, the politeness. And how that is not just a behavior, that is not just a thing you do when letting somebody pass in front of you, when letting somebody go ahead of you. When you are, for example, number 842 in Bonnie Blue's queue, and then all of a sudden you realize that the guy behind you actually has a much smaller penis than you. So you are like, no, after you. So that even though you are close to the 8/10th, coming up on the 9/10th, on the 90% mark of her queue being worked down, you might still deliver some pleasure to her because of the contrast, you know, because of the contrast with the predecessor that is there in front of you. Levinas, right, Jewish French philosopher, talking about him with a lot of respect, of course, by comparing his topics to Bonnie Blue's conga line. Okay, get your shit together. It is not just that behavior, it is about the attitude. Again, it is about the way of life. It is about, I love a movement speed increase, not feeling like you have the right to step in front of that person, not feeling like you are better or more grand than the other person is, or you are more, you have a... You have more of a right on life. you are more privileged. I don't even want to talk about it. Just stop watching this series. Stop watching Megabonk. Stop giving the content any attention at all. So I quit it. So I'm not motivated anymore. Please. For the sake of everything that is good in this world, please just stop empowering me. Stop encouraging me to play this game. Nobody wants this anymore. Not you, not me, not the Megabonk developers. Nobody wants to see, experience, feel. Nobody wants to be as disgusted as you should be right now, as I am right now at my own behavior. Oh, I almost have chicken skin. I feel so not at ease from what I just did there. And that run was going so amazingly as well. Really throwing away insanely good runs at this point in time. But let's forgive and forget. Move on. We're in the next run already, and we're gonna have even more fun. And that is also very much included in that concept of waiting, you know? In the physical act of letting somebody pass you. But I think also in your idea of like how other people can come in front of you, deserve life to an equal extent as you. There's also some waiting intertwined in there. I feel like I need to take a little second for myself to flesh out these thoughts, because I'm talking about this association between the two concepts, but I'm not really making it more clear, and I think that is because it is not yet clear in my mind. I love an agility tome. It's kind of waiting for your moment in a sense, and not forcing life. Well, we can just jump up there with this extra jump. Not forcing life to give you that moment. Not forcing life to provide you with that instant gratification. And also not forcing other people to do that for you. No, they can jump ahead of you. They can enjoy what life is offering them at that point in time. Does that make sense? Does that like include some explanation of the link with waiting? I feel like a little bit, but I'm not quite there yet. I feel like that après vous attitude, that after you attitude, is greatly intertwined with not being hasty in life and being patient. And that is, of course, very, very, very much intertwined with waiting. So yeah, I guess that kind of explains it. Another part of the book is focused on how waiting doesn't have to be lazy, doesn't have to be passive. And that waiting is often, and he talks about that in the context of psychotherapy, is often warranted, is often a great idea, but sometimes you need to act. When I had psychiatry from him, when I had that course, that class on psychiatry from him, oh yes. He talked a lot about when you need to force clients into a hospital bed, when you need to call the ambulance to have them picked up because they are in a psychosis, for example, because they are not... Do we want to add an additional projectile? No, I think we want to keep our thunder mids, because maybe, who knows, we get that legendary item that provides us with additional electricity bonuses. Yeah, let's have crits heal us, please. He talked a lot about that forced... What's the word I'm looking for? Forced hospitalization, I guess, is quite a nice way, or quite a correct and apt way to describe what I'm looking for. And that is a context where you definitely have to act. It's no longer about waiting, because a prerequisite for that to happen, for you to have somebody be forcefully taken to hospital bed, is that they are a danger to themselves or towards others. And I think you can appreciate the idea that in that situation you need to act. You need to act, and it's not about waiting. It's not playing the long game anymore. It's not playing the long con. It is about get them to safety, or get the people around them to safety, depending on what the situation really entails. So it's a balanced book in that sense. Its main topic is waiting, its main topic is patience, but the Wachter recognizes, the Wachter recognizes that you don't always have the privilege to wait, you don't always have the opportunity to wait. He also talks about Bergson. I'll go for some extra difficulty at this point. I don't need extra jumps. I don't need extra jump height. We are already flying across the map. I feel like I'm playing fucking Calcium sometimes. Because, for example, I don't really want a fire staff. Because, for example, look at this. We have 3 jumps right now. 3 jumps. Okay, that is quite crazy. He talks about Bergson, another philosopher whom I had never heard about. Let's go for crit chance. I think I want crit chance. Because 10% is nothing to sneeze at. I had never heard about. Writing about time and the concept of time. And kind of in a sense related to, or I related it to when I was reading about it and typing out my notes about it this morning. Kind of relating it to Chronos versus Kairos time, in my opinion. Give me even more crit chance, please. In a sense that he talks about time as in we all have a wrong way of looking at time in our scientifically sound, very practical, very strict. Yeah, let's go for a banana ring. We haven't done that for a while. Very strict view of time. Like every minute, every second, every hour. You're not alone, you're not alone, you're not alone. Get that reference, 15 respect points. Krogrin. I'm looking at you. You're gonna get that. He talks about time in a sense of this very fluid concept. This very much undefined concept. Oh, hi, Bush. Yeah, this is the time. Okay, hello, Bush. We are killing it. We are killing it. Nice and simply, nice and easily. Get your sniper bullets out of my face. You are not disturbing me with that sniper bullet at all. They changed the banana ring, it seems like. I think the game did receive a little update today. And I find that an interesting view of time. Interestingly enough, he was not really recognized in his time all that much, or not really seen for his perspectives, because he was losing debates. There we go, find a defeat Bush in the forest. He was losing debates, losing aura. Nice. Let's eat a lot of spaghetti. Because Albert Einstein's view of time was so prevalent, so well known at that point in time. Haha, pun intended. Please just execute me. He was losing debates. He kind of fell by the wayside. Society was kind of like, yeah, okay, your theories are myth, brother. Look at this guy with his crazy hair and his tongue sticking out on those famous pictures. He is gonna develop nuclear weapons. You shut up about time. We want the world to end. Manhattan Project, here we come. Fucking frogs, man. They drop a chest always, so I do kill them. And I also hate animals, so that's why I also kill the frogs. And he fell by the wayside to such a large extent that in the end he ended up dying a death by waiting, which is so apt for the book. It's such well, it's not a crazy coincidence, because I guess the Wachter kind of makes the association, and maybe that's why he talks about Bergson in the first place. But he died by waiting because, if I remember correctly, he died because he got a lung infection while waiting for something. So in a sense, waiting killed him. And the Wachter, of course, used that as a metaphor to prove his point even further about like how we don't always have to wait. Sometimes you have to act. I guess it's similar to when you have health problems of your own. You have to act sometimes. That reminds me of my father, and this is maybe a bit of a private story, but I do want to share it. It reminds me of my father, who has always raised me and my brother, and I think he was probably raised the same way, in a sense of like, if you're not dead or close to dying, if your body is not falling apart, you don't have to go to the doctor. You don't have to look for help. You don't have to cry out. You can just try and deal with it. Nobody needs to help you. It came to the point where he was literally having heart attacks, having miniature heart attacks, I guess, but heart attacks nonetheless. And he was still not looking for help. He was still like, yeah, no, I might go to the hospital later. That is a point where you should stop waiting. That is a point where you should act. And don't worry, he's safe and sound. And in the end, he did act, and he did change his health behaviors a little bit, but I think not to the extent me, my mom, my brother, and everybody surrounding him that adores him and loves him, which are luckily a lot of people, would appreciate. I think we would all like it if he would take things a little bit more seriously and change up his behavior a little bit more. to a more healthy extent, but hey, at least he's doing something about it. I will go for a little bit of shield. I think 6 shield is not gonna make the world, it's not gonna make the biggest difference, but oh, 2 legendaries in 1 run? You shouldn't have. You shouldn't have. This really makes me want to look for all the boss altars in the world and just fuck my shit up, potentially losing us the run, to trigger Wim even more, because I think that has become one of the main side quests of my, I was gonna say Vampire Survivors playthrough, of my Megabonk playthrough, is triggering Wim to the largest extent possible. And Wim, if it triggers you, you will have to just wait for the video to be over, because sometimes waiting is important, but what you also could do and should do is definitely close down this Google Chrome window or Opera GX or Safari if you're an absolute madman, but I think you are not that into Apple products, because you're a doctor, of course, and everybody knows an apple a day keeps the doctor away, you know what I'm saying? You don't have to be disappointed in myself, because I am disappointed in myself enough already. This run is going swimmingly. I feel at ease. I feel chill. I feel like I want to look around the map a little bit more for a second to see if any of those other green areas include boss doubling altars, because I feel like we are really gonna one-shot these little barks. Oh, give me more. Give me even more upgrades. Is this a boss altar over here? No, it is the microwave. There's one more down there at the bottom on the map, but I feel like if that was a boss altar, we would have pressed it by now, and we passed by it probably. It's probably going to be like another microwave. The map is so empty. I've forgotten how this was, because I'm not playing with Calcium that much anymore, because with Calcium this was kind of like the standard, you clearing out the whole map, but now we do have enough speed and agility with this character to kind of have cleared out the entire map again, and it feels nice. It feels lovely. It feels like meeting up with an old friend, giving each other a pat on the back, a little suck of the cock, and just having an all-around great time together. What's this? Yuck. Another microwave. No thank you. Okay, let's head over to the boss portal, and let's end off this run in a nice, safe and sound manner. This was a great one. And we also killed the bush, finally. I will still say hello to him if he keeps popping up, but I don't know if he disappears now. But I guess the fact that the egg still shows up makes me wonder. Because the boomboxes stopped showing up as soon as we collected all of them, so I'm not sure. Only 2 little barks today, and just look at this. Just look at this. Isn't this beautiful? Isn't this an absolute thing of beauty? We're not getting hit all that often. We are moving around the map, schmoving, if you will, if you want to use the exact right terminology. And these bosses are just absolutely no match for us. The final swarm can come in my asshole. Easy. That is the type of fucking Megabonk content I want to create. Set out to do something, do it, make progress in an episode, and stop messing around for all that time like we did last episode. Beautiful. I just randomly picked the axes because I realized we still hadn't picked up another weapon, and I feel like we can use one more because we have the slot, so why not? There's nothing to do across the map really, so I think I'm just gonna go towards those 2 nukes that I have collected, use them now at this stage of the final swarm, and then I think I will hang around the shields for like when it really becomes dire. I'm already straight, but the situation is not that dire yet. If you get that reference, one respect point, because if you don't know about the dire straits, then where have you been? Who are you? What drives you? And why? Most of all, why? Why would you live your life that way? Another nuke right here, coming right up. I might get involved with this microwave for a second. I mean, an extra projectile count. Don't get it twisted. I would love that. I think we just gave up our electricity damage, which is not something I wanted to give up, but an extra backpack is nice. And we have 1 shield here. Let's stand still for a second until things get dodgy. Let's pick up the shield and head over to the other shields on the other side of the map. If we can reach those other shields, but I think we can. Presume we can. It's a little bit to the left here. And then we are going to be able to survive for quite a while here in the final swarm. Let's use our other jump to negate fall damage. Try and get over to the shield. There we go. And we have one more, right? Yeah, it's over here. I don't think we're going to have enough gold to open up another chest. It's going to be quite close. Give me even more quantity. I think we should stay closer to the shield rather than close to a chest. The shield is running out. Try and get to it. Try and get to it. Oh damn, oh damn, oh damn. Okay, there we go. And now we can try and get bumped over into a chest, to be honest. Even more attack speed. This is I think the furthest I have ever gotten with my final swarm. Okay. Even more attack speed, but I don't think we're going to be able to move all that fast anymore because we are just getting smacked around a little bit too severely. Like, look at that, we are just getting railed into the ground, which is something I would love to happen to me in real life, if anybody is up for that. But other than that, I think we were headed off to the moon, but that was quite a successful Megabonk run. Yeah, I'm satisfied and happy. Which are feelings I haven't felt in a long while. So now I unlocked the Bush character as well. And I presume his weapons will be planes sent over into towers, right? Sniper rifle. Okay, but we haven't unlocked the sniper rifle yet. We haven't unlocked the black hole yet. We have the hat unlock possible, the green frog, but I think I'm gonna save up my silver to make some actual progress. Do we want to unlock Monkey? Yeah, in the end we're gonna want to unlock all characters, right? And look at that. Another quest complete. Purchase 40 unlocks, and that allows us to... Oh! Toggle purchased weapons, tomes, and items on or off. Okay, so we can take out the attraction tome and luck tome and things like that that we almost never take. That's interesting. Let's go for another passive silver upgrade to stack up nicely, and I hope to see you in the next one. Bye-bye.